What's going on, swim fans? Welcome to Whiteboard Wednesday, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you the best time to go swimming. I'm going to break down whether it's best to go swimming in the morning, in the middle of the day, or in the evening, and I'm going to break down the pros and cons of each of those different time slots. Now, you know what they say, going swimming at any time is better than not swimming at all, and if you guys are new here to the channel, we help you take your swimming to the next level, swim faster and smarter than ever before. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and let me know down below in the comments what time of the day that you prefer swimming. There are quite a few different studies that actually suggest that training in the late afternoon or the early evening is the best time for most people. Now, the reason for this has to do with muscle temperature, which relates to its peak around that time. Now, warmer muscles increase our metabolic processes and the energy metabolism of those muscles. Now, this rise in muscle temperature can be explained by our biological clock. This internal mechanism determines our nighttime and daytime rhythm and has a big influence on our bodily functions that fluctuate during the day, like our body temperature, heart rate, and overall metabolism. Now, you can achieve a similar effect by warming up properly before starting any type of swim or dryland workout. Unfortunately, it's not quite that simple to determine the best time of the day to train. There's, of course, stress, work, eating habits, and sleep that influence our biorhythm. And so does your mental state as well. And as a result, it really depends on your life circumstances and your personal preferences that will determine what time of the day is best for you. And before we get into this any further, I want to break down something that's often asked: how often should you swim? We're going to break down the pros and cons of the morning, midday, and afternoon as well. But how often should you swim in the first place? And I have 3 questions to ask you. In order to answer this, you need to understand, what are your goals? What are you actually training for? Are you trying to make the Olympic team? Are you trying to win a gold medal? Or are you just trying to stay in shape? Are you trying to lose weight? Are you trying to compete in a triathlon? What is your goal? Because without having a proper goal, whether it's written down or in your head, ideally you write it down, you're not really going to know how to answer this question, how often you should swim. So that really starts with what your goal is, the why behind your actual swim training. The second question you need to ask yourself is, what is your training history? Do you come from a more elite competitive swimming background where you used to train 10 times per week in the pool? Or have you never swum in your life at all, and this is the first time you're getting into some kind of a routine? Obviously, what your body can handle and what it's used to will be a little bit different based on what your body has been able to do in the past, whether that was 1, 5, or 10, or 20 years ago, or if this is something that you've been able to do a few weeks ago or a few months ago. And that really dictates what you'll be able to do and what you'll be able to put your body through today and moving forward in the future. And the third question is, how much time do you have to work out? Now, this includes your swim training as well as any type of training that you're doing out of the water as well. So let's say you have 30 minutes every single day to train, or 60 minutes every single day. You can train 6 times per week. That's fantastic. So maybe you can train swimming 3 times per week, and on alternating days, you're going to lift weights. You're going to do dryland training. That's a great combination as well. If you have only 60 minutes and you want to do swimming and dryland training every single day, maybe you do a little bit of dryland training before your workouts, and then you get in the pool, do your dynamic stretches, and then you do a 40-minute swim workout. So 20 minutes of dryland, 40 minutes of swimming. That way you can do swimming and dryland every single day. But it really comes back to, what are your goals? That first question, what are your goals? What is your training history? And how much time do you have to work out? And most importantly, it comes down to consistency. So regardless of your goals, whether that's trying to lose weight, trying to compete in your first triathlon, an Ironman, or trying to go a best time at nationals or masters nationals or something like that, you have to be consistent. So if you decide to swim 4 times per week or 5 times per week, you've got to do it every single week, not just for 1 week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks. And that's when you're really going to start to see the compounding impact of being super consistent. Now, for me personally, when I think about how I schedule my swims, I'm a former collegiate swimmer and I have a very deep competitive background. So although I don't train like I did in college, which was 20 hours per week, 6 afternoon swims, 4 morning swims or weightlifting sessions per week. Really, it was pretty crazy. So because I have that foundation and I don't train anything close to that now, I'm still able to maintain a relatively high level of output. So I might swim when I'm training for a master's competition 4, 5, or 6 times per week, anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 meters per workout, and I'll lift weights 3 or 4 times per week. My weight training sessions are about 30 to 40 minutes in duration, and they're super high intensity, and they're sort of like high intensity interval training. Now, when I'm training for something like an open water race, nice. I did the Bosphorus swim a couple of years ago. Absolutely magnificent. I swam from Asia to Europe in Istanbul. Really great experience. I highly recommend it. I actually did a video on that swim specifically. Absolutely amazing. Make sure you check it out. It'll be linked down below in the description. Maybe we'll play some fun B-roll. But when I trained for that, I was focused on open water. Remember, what is your goal? So because I knew I had to swim a 6-kilometer open water race continuously and I wanted to go fast during it, I trained a little bit more open water, a little bit more distance. I actually toned back my dryland training and strength training, and I trained a little bit more in the pool. So from 3,000 to 4,000 or 5,000 meter workouts, 5 or 6 days per week. And then I also did a challenge where I swam 30 days continuously, where I swam 4,000 to 5,000 meters every single day. And my challenge was to swim every single day and swim over 100,000 meters for the month. And so because my goals were different, my training schedule was different as well. And again, we're gonna talk about the different times of the day in just a little bit, but it really comes back to what is your goal. It also comes back to understanding how your body and energy systems actually work together. When it comes to this, sleep and recovery is super, super important. Because if you're training really hard and you're not sleeping, if you're not recovering, it's not gonna work out for you in the end. So make sure you're getting in your recovery. And we talked about muscle temperature a little bit in the introduction. We'll talk about that as well when we talk about the different times of the day. And of course, nutrition. Nutrition is super important for recovery and allowing you to reach your goals and your full potential. If you need a little extra energy boost for your morning swims, you're gonna love today's sponsor, Rise Brewing. Rise makes organic nitro cold brew coffee to fuel your workouts and everything in between. It's made with simple ingredients, no harmful chemicals, and low sugar content. They've got cold nitro cold brew, oat milk lattes and mochas that taste super smooth and give you the boost of energy that you need to wake up and train hard. And if you don't drink coffee, no problem. They've got a really good London Fog, which is made of tea and even a few flavors of oat milk. Click down below in the description for 10% off of your order. You can save even more if you sign up for a subscription. Tastes delicious, you're gonna love it. Make sure you'll never run out of this favorite coffee. Thank you again to Rise Brewing for sponsoring this video. Comment down below and let us know if you like to drink coffee before your workouts, and also let us know your favorite time of the day to go swimming. Big shout out to Rise Brewing. Make sure you check them out. Absolutely delicious. Now let's head over to the Piste de la Résistance, morning, midday, or afternoon, the pros and cons of each of those. Let's break it down. So if you go swimming in the morning, what are the pros? So in the very morning, you're gonna have a lot of energy for the rest of your day, right? Doing a swim stimulates your body. It releases endorphins. You've got this runner's high, or as we call swimmer's high, after you do this workout. So you're gonna have energy for the rest of the day. And depending on your pool situation, you might have empty lanes or filled lanes. This could be a pro or con depending on your pool access. But a lot of times, if you go in super early or maybe after that morning rush, maybe around 6, 7 a.m. if you can, you're actually gonna have an empty pool to yourself. Also, you get the sunrise views. If you go swimming in an outdoor pool and maybe you're by the water, I mean, it's absolutely amazing and majestic to see the sunrise. And you can only get that if you are swimming in the morning. Better than sleeping in, right? And of course, you're gonna get your testosterone levels are the highest in the morning. So if you swim in the morning, high testosterone, you're gonna stimulate your body, you're gonna have a lot of energy for the rest of the day. But there are some cons. So if you swim in the morning, some of the cons are that your joints and your body could be a little stiff. Some people take a lot more time to warm up and wake up. And a lot of this is actually mental, but physiologically, you are in a state where if you don't have that dynamic warm up, you're actually going to be more stiff and tighter than later in the day because your body has more time to warm up. Again, you can fix that with a dynamic warm up, but waking up at 5 a.m. and then trying to jump in the pool at 5:30 or 6 a.m. and you haven't had really a chance to get your body loose and your joints opened up, you're gonna be pretty stiff, which is definitely a con of swimming in the morning. Now, of course, number 2 con is that it takes time to elevate your metabolism and your energy system. So like we mentioned, some people are simply groggy in the morning and waking up super early is really, really difficult. And it takes time. It takes 2 hours, 4 hours, 10 hours to get your energy systems firing where you can actually leverage what you did in the morning to be able to push your body through that workout and then actually stimulate your metabolism and really get the most benefit out of that workout in the morning. Also a big con, if you're a night owl, really difficult to go to bed early and wake up early. So if you're not a morning person, waking up and jumping in a freezing pool at 6 a.m., doesn't really sound like the most exciting thing. Maybe that's you. Let me know down below in the comments. So again, if you're a night owl, this can be really, really difficult to go swimming in the morning. Let's talk about midday. So middle of the day could be a lunch break swim, or maybe, in the afternoon, so around 12, 11 a.m., 1 p.m. in the afternoon, really that time of the day. And a lot of times this can be used as a lunch break. So this is actually the most common time that I work out personally. And if you have the luxury through your work schedule or whatever you have going on, if you can go swimming in the middle of the day, it's a great way to break it up. You have your morning activities, your morning work, whatever you gotta do. Then you can break up your day with a midday swim. Absolutely amazing to be able to just kind of time out your day and then go swimming and then get back into it afterwards. Sort of this midday recharge. If you're a midday crew, let me know down below in the comments. I definitely prefer to work out in the middle of the day. And if you do have access to a pool in the middle of the day, this is really the best time to have the least amount of people there. If you can swim at 10:30, 11 a.m., that sounds like morning for some people, but that might be the middle of the day, or 12 or 1. If you can find that time slot where no one's in the pool, you're gonna have your own lane, no one's gonna bother you, and you can get in and get out and follow your plan, and you know what's up. So definitely some pros of swimming in the middle of the day. On the cons, well, you're gonna have a time crunch. So even if you do have access to a pool, you probably don't have all day to spend there because it's the middle of the day. Time is precious. We all have things we got to do. Maybe you're taking time away from your job and you only have a 1 hour window or a 45-minute slot or 2 hours, whatever you have, and you don't really have all day to dilly-dally. So you got to get in, get out. And so you do feel that time crunch. And you do sweat the rest of the time. So if you really rush yourself and you get in a great workout and then you rush out of there, you put on your clothes, you're gonna be sweating. You just increase your heart rate for a certain period of time. And if you have to get back into, a business suit or something like that, it's not gonna be the most comfortable thing in the world to show up to a meeting and you're sweating bullets and you're like, oh, whew, just got out of the pool, got out of a workout. It also gives you that anxiety. So this relates back to time. If you are crunched to do a lot of things and you have a lot on your mind, some people simply are not great at clearing their mind when they go swimming. We use swimming as meditation, but some people, they've got so many things they want to do, boom, 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 for 10 hours straight, and then it's better for them to go swimming in the morning or after they've completed all their daily activities. So if you feel that anxiety, I empathize with you. Sometimes I feel that as well. I solve this problem by actually just over allocating the amount of time that I have to do it. So if I know I want to do a 1 hour workout, I'll allocate 2 full hours where I can't do anything, where I'm going to do my swim workout or weightlifting workout. I'm going to eat lunch and then I'm going to chill out, and I've got a 2 hour window. I know I have the luxury of doing that and not everyone has that, but if you can find a way to get in even, an hour, 90 minutes or something like that, where you don't have to be in front of people in a presentation or group meeting setting, you can work more on your own pace. That's definitely highly preferred for myself. Maybe it is for you as well. Let me know down below in the comments. And the third time slot is in the afternoon or evening. Now, these are actually 2 different slots in my opinion. Afternoon could be something like 4, 5, 6 p.m. Evening would be around 8 or 9 p.m. And some of these pros and cons actually lean into one of those time slots a little bit more than the other, which we'll talk about. So some pros of swimming in the afternoon or the evening is that your muscle temperature is at its peak. Meaning your body has had the entire day to warm up, you're stretched out, hopefully you're not sitting in a desk for 20 hours and then now you're all of a sudden gonna go do something. But because your muscle temp is at its peak, theoretically, your performance has the potential to be at its best. And so if you do everything right and you have the best recovery, nutrition, all that good stuff, you will be at your peak in the afternoon and evening. This allows you to swim harder, and then allows you, if you can eat a good meal right after, go home, relax, go to sleep. It allows that whole process to be a lot more efficient because then you can recover right after you do the workout, swim, eat, sleep, repeat. And it allows you to do that if you have the timing right in the afternoon. Again, not everyone has the luxury of swimming at 6, 7, 8 p.m., depending on what they've got going on, work, family, dinner, all that good stuff. And it allows you to release the stress at the end of the day. So you know you've accomplished everything for that day, and now you're ready to just let out all your energy because you know the only thing you got to do when you get home is eat, relax, and sleep. On the flip side, there are a few cons because you can feel the lack of motivation. Honestly, for me, this is probably the most difficult part of working out in the evening. You've done so much in the day. Your energy levels are starting to get drained because you've done so much, and now you don't really feel like going to the gym. You feel like punting it to the next day. You know what? I don't need to go to the pool. I don't need to go to the gym. I'll do it tomorrow. I worked really hard today on all this other stuff. And that's a bunch of baloney, first of all. But hey, you know, I empathize. I've been there. I've done that. And it's not ideal. And that's definitely a con of having the workout at the very end of the day. Another con is that you don't really have as much energy anymore. And, you know, it's difficult to expend that final energy to get in a quality workout depending on what you did in the day, especially if you have a more physically laborious job. And also, if you work out at the end of the day, you might not be able to go to sleep immediately after. So if you have only a 9 p.m. slot and you want to go to bed at, 11, it might be very difficult to come home, eat a big meal, and then try and recover, and then try and go to sleep. And your body might not be in a situation where it's actually easy to do that. So there's certainly pros and cons of swimming in the afternoon or evening, midday, morning. But either way, if you can get in the pool and you can go swimming on a consistent basis and really follow your specific measurable goals, ask yourself these questions. What are your goals? You're going to be a lot better off than someone who did not go swimming at all. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below in the comments if you like swimming in the morning, middle of the day, or in the evening. If you haven't downloaded the MySwimPro app, make sure you download it. It's got hundreds of workouts, training programs, personalized to you. So if you're not really sure when to go swimming, how far you should swim, what you should be doing, how do you get better, the MySwimPro app is the right thing for you. Make sure you give it a download and also join the MySwimPro Facebook group. Over 10,000 members in over 100 different countries trying to take their swimming to the next level. So make sure you're a part of that community. Share your workouts. I'll see you guys in there. And of course, if you haven't picked up my book, Swim Like a Pro, I've packaged everything in there. It's a holistic guide and you can get that down below in the description as well. Wish you guys the best. I'll see you at the next video and happy swimming.